What is up, guys? Today is date number 30, 40.
A few moments later.
What is up, guys? Today is day 45. I think it's day 45. Honestly, I've lost count. We're right up past 1800. Let's get it going. It's time to go. Yeah, time to get it moving. 1823. Let's get into it. On F4. It's really time to go. This is we're fully in line for bird mayhem.
Where's the coffee? Where's the coffee? Smell the coffee.
Yeah. I'm a little confused. My webcam. Never mind. All right. So bishop f5. Knight. We're gonna play knight c3 here. Yeah. I don't think I covered this move order in my course. But normally bishop f5 is paired with knight f6. Here we'll play e4. He didn't play knight f6, so we get into e4 a lot quicker. A lot easier. Yeah, this is quite a challenge. Bishop g4, we can play... What are we going to do? Let's play h3. Take out the queen. Quickly get the bishop out, castle queenside. I think at the moment already white has a very nice position here. These pawns are very good. These pawns are very good. And it's time to go.
It's time to go. Whatever, it's time to go now. Whatever.
Queen check. We could just block with g3. We could also play queen f2. Yeah, this is getting tense. Bishop b4 is going to be a little annoying. If I play bishop e3, bishop b4 threatens to ruin my structure. Let's play bishop d2. Prevent it. I'll just castle queenside, probably eventually fix the bishop. I like white's position a lot here. I think black's position is already quite a struggle. g4 and g5 is going to be really problematic. b4 doesn't do anything. We can slip the knight in on a4. Yeah, there's some kind of parade going on outside. I live near this military complex here in Joinville. And so there are like these campaigns that go on where the soldiers just bang their drums and march around yelling in Portuguese. It's an interesting situation here. Yeah, I think white is definitely in the driver's seat here, especially after g5. This is getting bad. I'm not sure what the plan is for his king. If he plays knight g8, there's no way he's getting these pieces out in time. Let's play bishop e3 though. This dominates the knight. Knight is completely dominated. This is also important because now he cannot dislodge this knight. If he cannot play knight b6 and trade this knight off, his pawns can never get any farther. Not that I would even need to be afraid of that here. I have way more pieces out than he does. h4, h5, put the bishop on h3. Another idea is bishop g2 and e5. This position is already a disaster. I don't know where that knight is going. I guess he's going to g6. Let's play h4. Knight g6, we just play h5. You could try knight c8. It doesn't look good. None of this looks good. Yeah, this looks unbelievably problematic. Probably at the right time I want to play e5 and unleash on the c6 pawn, but I do not want to do it while the knight is well poised to immediately invade on d5. All right, well now that's not going to work. We could just play bishop b5. Knight c6, e4. This is just a disaster. This is an unmitigated disaster. Call the police. Went to Starbucks, got a nice cup of coffee. Nice fresh cup of joe. It's lukewarm though. It's been a few hours. All right, we'll just, am I imagining it? Are we just snacking a piece? It's time to snack. But it's always important to snack right. You don't want to snack wrong. You got to snack right. Let's take this way. Let's keep the queens on the board. The pressure has not ceased. All right, well it's time to go.
It's time to go.
Don't need to look at you. Can't even speak.
Time to go.
You can't even.
Nice. All right, we'll take it. 1831. Let's go. Nice. Another game with white. Every game with white is such a joy. It's such a treat. Here we play c4, playing knight c3. We're going to occupy the full center. d4, e4. c5 is the only move, theoretically speaking. Yeah, we've transposed into the king's Indian defense, 4 pawns attack. Yeah, it's really time to go. We got to get things moving. We got to keep it going so the bird can fly. All right, c5. So here, theoretically speaking, d5 is the only move we're going to just take. Queen a5, I'm a little suspicious, honestly. The fact that it took him so long to think of c5 and now he's just playing the theoretical moves, your boy's a little suspicious. Because normally, what I'm trying to say is that in this position, either you would know the theory immediately or you wouldn't. It wouldn't take you 30 seconds to figure out the theory. I'm going to play queen e2. I'm going to keep things going. Mediocre Magnus. We're going to see. We're going to see what happens. Let's put the bishop on e3. Queen is going to transfer over to h5. Then we can castle. I like this position a lot. It's, we can also actually castle queenside. Queen a5. Okay, yeah, this guy isn't cheating. He's not making the best moves. He wants to put his knight on g4. We got to be a little careful, though. H3, then knight h5. Yeah, this is a little tricky. Let's castle here. He plays knight g4. We could play bishop d2. He could throw a check in. But I don't think the check leads anywhere. King h1, he takes on b2. Then we can play knight d5. I think white has enormous compensation there. So e5, yeah, this guy is certainly not cheating. e5 is a really terrible move. You do not play e5 when your opponent has a pseudo-Maroxy like this. We'll start with h3, push the knight back, and after knight f6, something like f5. White has a great position here. The whole problem with e5 is that I don't have to trade for it. And if I don't trade for it, his bishop just becomes a terrible piece for no reason. We're going to play f5. Could also even take here, because taking back would still block the bishop, but it's better to play f5. Bruv is in a lot of trouble. Bruv is definitely playing mediocre. It's a nice name, though. Maybe 6 check, we play bishop e3. He could take, and maybe try for some e4 stuff, but I have too many pieces covering it. Also, I'm realizing, yeah, my bishop is x-raying the queen. Bishop is x-raying, I could play knight b5 and snatch the pawn. But no, knight b5, he plays queen b6 check. Should we play knight d5 then? Yeah, this is unbelievably uncomfortable. Look at this. We're going to play knight d5, attack the queen. Queen goes to c5. We have bishop e3. Queen is already trapped, pretty much. Queen goes to d8, but now we play bishop g5. The knight is in the crosshairs. The knight is in the firing line, and he has no simple way to rectify this. No simple way to rectify this whatsoever. I want to play for knight h2, knight g4, and just harass the knight more and more. He goes there. He's sort of clicking the panic button, though. We're going to take here, distract the bishop, and then finally snack. Get snacking. He had to stay calm and not push that h-pawn. Now we're snacking. We not only snacked, but we also really undermined the defense of this pawn here. His king should be very uncomfortable in this position. I'm wondering about the best way to establish more pressure, though. Perhaps should we just transfer the queen over? I mean, what is the plan here? What is the whole solution? What are we playing for? What is life all about? I want to play c5. Maybe not the best move, but I think it's really interesting, and we're clearing this square. I feel like I'm going to have fantastic attacking chances, because the idea is my bishop goes to the square. First of all, this diagonal is fantastic, and secondly, he cannot oppose it easily, because my pawn is covering it. Well, that's just terrible. No offense.
Give me 2 of those, give me 6 of those. Oh, this is the worst looking hat I ever saw. Well, you buy a hat like this, I'll bet you get a free bowl of soup, huh? Oh, it looks good on you, though.
We're going to just take here. It's the end of the game. It's the end of the game, and it's the end of the line. And it's time to go. I could even take, check, king e7. Does that lead anywhere? There is no reason to go for that. There's absolutely no reason to go for that, but I still sort of want to go for that. We'll just take here. He has to play something like bishop e6, but takes. It's going to be over. This is just the end of the game. It's time to go. Let's take. King takes queen h5 is going to end things. Queen h5, king e7, and the carousel keeps on moving. King h7. We're going to just take. This position is a disaster. It's really time to go. We're going to take here. Play queen h5, bishop g7, da-da-da. All right, here I like this. We could play bishop g7 here. He takes and then queen h5, and that is going to be mate. It's a cheeky mate. It's time to go.
Hit the post in the second half when he went round.
We were 3-0 down to a pub side. 3-0 down.
Nice. 1839. 1839, perfect. Yeah, someone's going to have to explain to me why I'm bulldozing everyone again. In between like 1200 and 1500, it was really taking me some time to bulldoze people, and now we're back to bulldozing people very quickly. Something's up. Something's in the water in 1800 land. Bishop e7. c4. Let's play d6, knight d7. I'm just going to dig into e4. This is a bird reversed. It's just a bird reversed without f5. But f5 is a coming. Yeah, now this is just a bird reverse. Slightly worse bird reverse because the bishop has not gotten out of the pawn chain, but definitely not the end of the world. He's also chosen a relatively inoffensive setup. As long as they're not playing for e4, you should be doing okay. Let's play queen e8. Queen is going to come over to h5. Yeah. This guy's playing very quickly, and I welcome that. I welcome quick players. We're going to play knight g4, really amp up the pressure here. Things are starting to get very uncomfortable. If he plays knight g3, I take... Well, no, now I take and I take on f3. That should be over. That should 100% be over. Well, maybe takes. We check, king f1. Am I not winning there? So that's crazy, actually. Yeah, his queen is defending. Bruv is hold it on. Bruv is held on. This Turkish man. How do you say Turkish? How do you say a Turkish person? I think it's just Turk. I speak a little Turkish. I know a tiny bit. I know a tad of Turkish. But what are we going to do here? We just play bishop g5? Yeah, let's just amp up the pressure. Bishop g5. Things are getting very uncomfortable. If he takes her, I think I can take here. King f1, check here. Maybe he runs away. Maybe I don't have anything. I don't know, though. And if I don't know, then he probably doesn't know either. I doubt he wants to play bishop c1, though. Bishop c1 is a really ugly move to stomach. If he plays bishop c1, I'm just going to drop the bishop back to h6. That can't work. Come on. Come now. That definitely cannot work. Takes, king f1, and we're going to take on h2. It's time to go. It's really time to go. Something, something malfunctioned in his head there. He thought probably that he had two defenders here, but the problem is he can't take with the rook first. He has to take with the queen. Where is the win here? I mean, I have too many pieces pointed at his king. There's no way that he's surviving this. But the question is how? How do we do it? Knight f2, king g1. I could start by taking. He takes. I'm getting some pieces there. But I want more than a few pieces. I want more than a few trifles. I want the big salad. And it's time to go. I mean, okay, we could check and check. Is there anything to do that's better, though? f4 looks really strong. f4 just threatens to open up everything. I mean, I could, objectively speaking, the most straightforward approach is just do this, take, and then you're getting an extra piece, or you're taking here and winning in exchange. But I'm wondering, after f4, what can he do? Let's say he plays rook f1, then I take here. There's just way too much pressure in that position. Let's go for it. Objectively speaking, it might have been practically simpler to play knight f2, but with f4, with another piece coming to the party, there's just like literally 5 pieces convening on his king. It's an attack convention. Yeah, I just realized that convene and convention, those have the same root, and that makes so much sense. I mean, don't get me wrong, I knew both words. I already knew of both words for quite some time, for literally like 20 years, but I never realized that they were connected. All right, we're just going to take. Like, this is just the end of the game. There's no way for him to survive this. Like, already simple plan is just take, and mate. Even takes, rook takes looks like it's the end of the game. All right, I sort of want to do that. I really want to sack the queen for bravado. Wait, so takes, does that work? He takes here, we mate. He could play king g2. He could play king g2 though. King g2, rook f2, king g3. I don't think I have mate there. It's close, but it's not mate. Let's start instead with this. Let's just take this way. If takes, then I have this mate. He will probably take here. Then I can do this, takes, and mate. He's taken that way. Well, now we can sack the queen. Because takes, this is going to be checkmate. It's time to go. Beautiful. 1846, we're getting there. 1846, we're definitely getting there. E4, let's go with the Alekhine. I've been liking the Alekhine a lot. E5, knight d5. Yeah, apologies for the background noise. I live near a really loud and rambunctious street. The cacophony of the street frequently spills over into the microphone. Let's play d6. All right, we'll play bishop g4. I don't know any of the theory of the Alekhine. I should probably not be playing it so much. I should not be playing it so frequently if I don't know any of the theory. Here though, well no, now this is good for me. A good rule of thumb is that whenever they have to overexpand like this, if they have to trade queens, then black has to at least be equal. Normally black is going to be a bit better. Already here, either they have to uncastle or they have to drop the c4 pawn. All right, so he's choosing to drop the c4 pawn. We're going to castle queenside with check, probably pick up this e-pawn. Yeah, this is an unmitigated disaster for him already. Castle queenside check. All right, we could take. I feel like there should be some checkmate though already. This position is so close to mate. Maybe takes, knight d4, king c3, takes. I mean, what's the plan? What are we really going for though? What are we trying to accomplish in life? All right, I'm going to go for it. I think that this is completely winning. We're going to check king c3, knight a4, king b4. At least I have knight c2 there and I can win an exchange. But I'm hoping to get something better. I'm hoping... Yeah, this is a wild position. The whole problem, I want to go for checkmate, but the problem is that if I don't immediately lunge with knight a4, he's going to play b3 and stop me. This position just looks like an unmitigated disaster, but I'm not... Where is the breakthrough, though? Where is the breakthrough that ends it? I don't want to just collect the exchange. Collecting the exchange would win, but I feel like there must be more. There must be more here. If we play e6, he plays b3. Even there, I could play bishop b4, pick up the exchange. But come on, there has to be something more here. What about e6, b3, a5? He plays a3 to stop bishop b4. He could also play king b2. Oh, I wish I had something more here. Knight a4, king b4. Could we play knight c5? Oh my. Oh my, knight c5, that is beautiful. That is so beautiful. Please take. Please take. Take the knight. This is such a beautiful position. Look at this. Knight d3, knight c2. This has got me on the edge of my seat, as you can tell. Oh, please take. Take e6 as mate. Come further into the forest, pal. It's time to go. The beasts are waiting in the forest. He could try king c3, but I feel like with my knight here, there must be some improvement now. With my knight here on c5, there have to be several improvements. Already here, I could play like knight d3 at least. There must be some win there. Knight a3. Knight a3. Can we play a5? Yeah, a5. a5 looks like the end of the game. a5, king c3, knight a4. He has to go back. a5 he has to take. He has to come further into the palace. Where is the win here? I mean, okay, already here I could play knight d3 and just win the rook and that would be over. Yeah, why am I not doing that? But is there a mate? I want to get the checkmate. I don't care about the trifles. I don't care about the truffles. I don't care about the bonbons. And I certainly don't care about the ice cream. I want the checkmate. Where is the checkmate? a5 takes b6. He goes back. Is there a mate there? No, there's... I don't want to end this game by just taking a rook. I want to win in style. This is my immortal Alkine game. A5 takes, we play knight d3, he plays rook e3. Then I play b6, king a6, knight c5, knight c5, king a7. That's so close to being checkmate. Where is the checkmate there? Is there no checkmate there? a5 takes. Does knight c2 work? No, knight c2. Sorry, knight c2, he takes. But I was thinking knight c2, king c5. We play e6, king b5. You know what? Actually, knight c2, that would be wild. King c5, a6. I think e6 is forced win. But all right, we'll just play knight d3 and win the rook. Sadly, I'll take the free rook. I'll take the free rook. It's time to go. He's offering to chat. I just explained to him that it's a speed run, buddy. It's a speed run, pal. But he just, also though, to be clear though, the guy did not play a great game. I don't think I played particularly like an engine. Knight c5 was a beautiful move though. Knight c5 was a really beautiful move. Here we play g4. I remember this. This is in my course. It's a beautiful idea. d4, we play bishop d3. I want to emphasize, guys, like, look at this position. If you ever saw this position and you were playing black, let me flip the board around for a second. Let's say you hadn't studied the bird. Would you have any idea what to do in this position? This is how your opponents feel when you play the bird. And keep in mind, though, apparently, from what I remember, the engine says that white is already slightly better here. And it's just a wild position. Your opponent will never know what to do here. It's time to go. Your opponent's going to be wildly confused. I wonder what my opponent is even thinking. Like, he called me an engine. He was using English. And there I had the Taiwan flag. Like, just what are the chances that a Brazilian guy accuses me of cheating in English and I respond in fluent Portuguese while having a Taiwanese flag, telling him that I'm a grandmaster living in Joinville. All right, here we could play g5. The idea here is that after knight e4, you need to be a little careful in these variations. On the one hand, knight e4 is generally fine for us, but it depends a lot on their access to the d6 square. If they have access to the d6 square, we do not want to play d3 and push their knight around to f5. But here, as you can tell, their bishop has been placed incorrectly on d6, so if knight e4, we can just trap the knight with d3. This just looks like a disaster already. This looks like an unmitigated disaster. If c4, I think I can take here. I really want to take, but I'm wondering, is it the best? Okay, well now take... Okay, let's see. Takes, king takes, g6 takes. Well, takes, we play knight h4. That should be mate. What about takes, g6 takes, knight g5, king g8? Am I mating there? I'm not mating just yet. How are we going to mate there? It's time to go. I want to checkmate. Do I just want to play h4? Could that really be the answer? Okay, yeah, we'll just go for it. I don't know if this works or not. This looks wild. Okay, he's playing e5. Smart guy. Smart guy can tell what's up. Yeah, I should have watched out for that. I was too excited. I was too excited for what was about to happen. We play h5, e4, g6. Ah, this is getting tricky. e4 is a little bit annoying. We'll play bishop f5. I'm definitely taking some risk here. This is not the clean way to execute this type of position here. He takes with that. No, that can't be good. That cannot be good. Okay, already here I have knight c3. Let's start with knight c3. Knight is coming to b5 or d5. I still have this in my back pocket. Like, the idea is I just want to do that when my queen can easily flow to h5. These positions are so lovely. These positions are wild. I think probably back here in this position after queen c7, probably I should have just played knight c3, threatening knight b5, and I'm going to play queen e2, castle queenside. Generally, when you've already erected this structure, you have an enormous advantage. Objectively speaking, and also even just from a practical perspective, it's unbelievably difficult for them to play this position. Like, again, I'll flip the board around. Imagine you're messing with this. Like, right now, it looks like his king, he's going to attack me, but I think my king is going to sit well on f1. I don't actually think that he has any attacking ideas. I'm going to take on d5. If he plays queen c6, I'm playing c4. If he takes here, I could even try taking on d2, but then that's a little risky. Takes on d2, he plays bishop f4. Instead, we're going to just sit the king on f1. King is completely safe here. He is nowhere close to a check in this position. But how do we win? I have like 10 pieces. I have 10 pieces pointed at his king. But how do we win? I think he has to try queen c6, but I'm going to take on d2. How do we win? Take on d2. I'm defending the knight. There's already just so much pressure against this position here. How is he going to manage this? Another threat is knight e7. Like, I would bet he's going to miss this. Like, if he plays knight e5 already, I can take a knight e7. And that's the end of the game. A really simple plan for me here is h5, h6, dislodge this pawn, and then invade with the knight. Or something like h5, h6, g6, and queen c3. Knight b6. Knight b6. Okay, already here, do we have bishop h7? This is a wild position here. I'm wondering, can I play... This, all of these moves almost work. I really need to watch out for this, though. Knight b6 is a very strong move. Knight b6 is an extremely strong move, honestly. We have to... Can we play knight f6 takes queen d3? Oh, I don't know. I really don't know. If I take... So the thing is takes queen d3, g6. Well, if g6 I play knight f6 and I have these discoveries, I have to be doing great there. So takes queen d3. If he goes king h8 there, I go knight f6. Takes, bishop takes, king g8. Is there a win there, or am I just down 2 pieces? What is the plan in that position? This position is just unbelievable. This is an unbelievable position. Could I try knight e5? Could I try knight e5? No, I can't try knight e5. Bishop e4 is okay. I don't really want to do bishop e4, though. Let's see. Knight f6, takes, queen d3. No, that doesn't work. He plays f5. Oh, everything here is so close to working. Everything in this position is so close to working. Can I just ignore both and play queen c3? Yeah, let's do that, actually. Queen c3, I'm threatening mate. 2 pieces are hanging, but he has to deal with it. If he plays f6, now my attack speeds up, and I'm defending this knight. That's a very constructive improvement. Let's play queen c3. Wild position here. I hope everyone has their hard hats on. Construction and chaos is about to ensue. This is a wild position here. Bro plays f6. I don't know what's happening here. I would assume white has to be at least okay here. Like, definitely the fact that this knight is defended means that I can take here if I need to cash out without him being able to break through on f3 with the check. This is an insane position, though. I don't know what's happening. I simply don't know what's happening. He plays f6. f6, we could even take g6. Does that work now? Does that work? What is happening? What is happening in this position? It's time to go. I don't know what's happening in this position. If we take here, takes, the idea is bishop takes. I think I play rook g1 and I'm winning. Because I'm going to play f7. Just way too many threats in that position. I just can't even process what is happening in this position. We can play bishop e4. He takes... Bishop e4 takes and queen c4. No, that doesn't really work. He plays bishop e6. We take here. He takes. Then I take this and I'm up a rook. Could it really be... Am I just supposed to cash out that way? I didn't want to cash out. I want to go... I want to play for checkmate. I want to play in the spirit of Morphy and Anderson. And the Romantics. All right, we take here, takes, f7, rook takes. No, there's just nothing there yet. Meanwhile, takes, queen d3, f5, queen c3. Does that work? Could that really be? That almost works. Yeah, that almost works. Takes, queen d3, but he just plays king g8. Then we take on f6. He takes, then we check. I think that would be winning. That would be winning, but okay, let me just double check that. Okay, of course I could take on b6 and that would be fine, but I really want to win in style. Check, check, check. He goes g6, we can take on f6, that should be winning. Or we could even play h5, that should be over. All right, I'm going to go for it. Hopefully I don't lose. I don't know what's happening here. This is a complete mess. This is just an unmitigated mess. What a game. I love this guy's profile, by the way. Who is that? Skeletor? Is that who that is? Do I remember his name correctly? I don't even know why I know his name. I never watched that cartoon. Skeletor from Montenegro. Has some flair. I don't know what that is, but regardless, kudos to you, gain knowledge. Mr. Gain Knowledge. Gained knowledge. You know, the crazy thing is now that I'm speaking so much Portuguese, I'm used to saying N's through the nose. Portuguese is a very nasal language, and so you say the M's and N's through your nose most of the time. For instance, like the N in Providencia is actually Providencia. It's very different. Or Providencia, for instance. All right, let's play queen d3 check. Very interesting question now in his hands. If he plays king g8, we hit him with knight f6. If, I don't know what's happening. This is alien chess. This is just such a wild position. I'm really happy I didn't cash out. Okay, so here we check. Here we check, and we're going to keep checking. If he takes, I think I can even take here, and that should be winning. He is completely exposed here. Rook takes. Technically, I'm down a rook for 2 pieces, but with an attack fully blazing, things are good. And I mean, a big part of this was that the thing I didn't like in my position after he played knight b6 is that I was going to have to trade off my attacking pieces for relatively undeveloped pieces, while now we're trading off one of his last defenders around his king. So, yeah, I'm much more confident about this position. If he takes, I could take here with a huge attack. I'm thinking, though, the best would be check, keep the knight defended, the king goes back, and then we're going to take here, and rook g1 just looks unstoppable there. And because my queen is here now, I'm covering his escape hatch. I would assume he's getting checkmated here. He has no checks at the moment, as long as I just keep this knight under control. Because if he ever throws in a check here, I always have c4. Could he play king f7? Well, no, king f7. There must be some move after king f7. King f7, I think I'll just play rook e1. I'm threatening g6 mate. If he takes, then I have queen h7 mate. All right, he's going for it. We're going to play rook e1. I'm happy I didn't cash out for the quick... I didn't cash out earlier. This has turned into a really magnificent position. Yeah. I can't imagine what that Brazilian guy was thinking. He's messaging a profile in Taiwan. He's messaging a profile from Taiwan, and the guy responds in fluent Portuguese telling him he's a grandmaster. All right, we're up to 1854. This is wonderful. Yeah, we're on 35 minutes, so I guess I'm going to end the speed run here for today. We've got some great games today. Okay, well then this is just mate, no? All right, thank you all for watching. We're at 1862. Yeah, take care everyone. Bye-bye then. I'll see everyone tomorrow for day number 46.